All right, so bipartisan, I'm really in the eyes of the beholder. Senator Chuck Grassley, the Senate Finance Committee, an Iowa senator as well. That seems to be the surest sign yet, Senator Grassley, that the appetite for compromise on the part of some Democrats, at least, isn't there. What do you make of that?
Well, if they want to do infrastructure, bridges, highways, broadband, and you can throw a lot of others in, but you're talking about spending $1 a day and not repeating it every day until you tear up a highway and build a new 30 or 40 years down the road. That sort of infrastructure would easily get bipartisan support. And some committees have already reported a bill out unanimously to that effect. Now, how you fund it is another thing. But within that bipartisanship, you can't throw in, for instance, in this $2 3/10 trillion bill, $400 billion for expanding Medicaid. And another thing about infrastructure, in the 24 counties I was in during our Easter break, infrastructure came up at almost every one of them. So it's something out there at the grassroots that people want, and they want us to work in a bipartisan way, and this is something that can be done in a bipartisan way if the Democrats want to leave non-infrastructure stuff out of it.
So is non-infrastructure stuff most of the $2.2 trillion package they're looking at? In other words, I believe Senator Blunt has said, I don't know where you are on this, sir, but that the actual core part of infrastructure only is closer to, I think, 618 to about 680 billion dollars, and that would be something Republicans would entertain. Am I right about that?
That's right, and that's what I said, so let me repeat. There's already been some bills out of committee that are bipartisan already, and then there's going to be another bill out of Public Works Committee probably next week that's bipartisan as well.
All right, so, Senator Joe Manchin, and I raised this with Senator Gillibrand, is concerned about raising taxes as high as the president wants. The corporate rate shouldn't be at 28% as the president wants, but maybe closer to 25%. Would you support anything like that?
No. Here's where we are on the economics of the 2017 tax bill. We reduced the corporate tax rate down to 21 because we were the highest in the world, and we were non-competitive. So this made us very competitive, but more importantly, there was about $3 trillion of American corporate income overseas because it was earned overseas, and it wasn't ever brought home because of the high tax rate. Why would you tax it at 35, but at 21, $1 6/10 trillion has come home, so we already have great working capital as a result of it. I would just think of the tremendous economy we had before the pandemic, the best in 50 years. So why would the Democrats want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg? They ought to be working to get us back down to 3.5% unemployment, and that'll be killed if they raise taxes. One other thing on the corporate tax rate: if they raise it to 28 without changing what we did, well, let me back up. We lowered it to 21, but we broadened the tax base. If they raise it to 28 without narrowing the tax base, we're going to have a higher tax rate than we had at 35%.
All right, we'll have to watch it very, very closely. Senator Grassley, thank you very, very much for that. Keep us posted on how your alternative plan is working out with some of your colleagues. In the meantime, here, just